You owe us, Isabela.
Well, Lucky, I'll tell you what. Since the information you gave me was worth nothing, that's what I'll pay you.
Me and my boys will get our money's worth, bitch.
Oh, you poor sweet thing. Tell me, Lucky, is this worth dying for? I didn't think so. My, and here I thought the only men in this place were besotted fools who couldn't hoist the mainsail.
When you talk about hoisting the mainsail, what do you really mean?
What else could it mean? It requires strength, knowledge of rigging, and a small measure of sobriety.
I know my way around rigging just fine. And I'm good with my hands.
Oh my. I'm Isabela. Previously Captain Isabela. Sadly, without my ship, the title rings a bit hollow. You're Ferelden, aren't you? You have that look about you. I was in Denerim not too long ago. You know, you might be just what I'm looking for to solve a little problem I have.
Can't anyone fix their own lives around here?
Must be something in the water. Someone from my past has been pestering me. I've arranged for a duel. If I win, he leaves me alone. But I don't trust him to play fair. I need someone to watch my back.
Who's this person you've arranged to meet?
His name is Hader. We worked together back in Antiva. He's never liked me. He's been asking about me all around Kirkwall. Thought I'd get it over with and meet him face to face.
You wanted information from Lucky. What was it?
I asked Lucky and his boys to track down something I lost. They failed to do it. It's nothing to worry about, and this is much more important.
Why a duel?
I like duels. It's what I do. And if I win, he'll be dead. Problem solved.
What makes you think I'm right for this?
You saw me talking to Lucky, didn't you? Those boys couldn't manage simple information gathering. I can't trust the riffraff in this place to do anything right. But you're different.
I think I could manage watching your back.
I'll bet. I've arranged to meet Hader in Hightown after dark. I'll meet you there.
Why are you watching me like that?
You have Valasleen. The same markings that the Dalish have.
Yours are not made of lyrium.
No, they're made of blood. Our blood. That's what Valasleen means. Blood writing. It's a mark of adulthood.
Mine were carved into my flesh against my will, in a ritual I remember only for the agony it caused me.
I'm so sorry.
So, I've been dying to know, what was going through your head when you fought that ogre?
For the first few seconds, what do they feed those things?
I don't know anyone else that's even seen one. You're lucky just to be standing here. Somehow, Hawke, I imagine things won't be dull with you around. Not that I expect the deep roads to be boring, mind you. Constant threat of doom does tend to keep you awake.
Anything in particular I should know about your brother?
To understand Bartrand, you've got to understand the Dwarven Merchants Guild. These are dwarves who would sell their mothers if they thought it'd get them a better share of the lyrium market. Anyone who deals with them has to sleep with a knife under their pillow. In my family, that's Bartrand.
What are your plans for this trip into the deep roads?
Bartrand's running the show. Andraste's ass, he'd probably do that even if we weren't paying for everything. The tide we're looking for is supposed to be a week's travel from the surface, so I hope you aren't scared of the dark. We've got supplies, muscle, excavators. The plan is to carry out everything that's not nailed down.
If we'll be working together, I should find out more about you.
True enough. I suppose you ought to know my credentials. My family came from Orzammar, noble house Tethras, until my father got caught fixing provings. He and our whole house got exiled. No huge loss. I was born up here. Sunshine suits me just fine.
Are you a merchant? A mercenary?
I'm a younger son. It's a difficult and dangerous profession. A lot of us die of boredom. Fortunately, being Bartrand's younger brother keeps me on my toes. Maker knows he lacks subtlety. I'm the one who pulls strings to keep the coterie out of our hair. Keep us just a whisker ahead of the other families.
A lot of things can keep you awake, you know. I wouldn't reach for the doom first.
Sure, I could have a cup of tea in the morning, but I hear it's bad for you. I've spent my whole life in Kirkwall. Dangerous enough most days, but it doesn't compare to the deep roads. So, this will be, let's just call it an adventure, I guess.
Great. Now we're adventurers.
There you are. I've been here for hours. Hader hasn't shown up. No one has. I don't like this.
I don't like this. That's right up there with what could possibly go wrong.
That's the wench we're looking for. Gut her.
Hader sent them. Search the bodies. I need to find out where he is. Hiding in the chantry and sending thugs to finish me off? Coward. He'll not get away with this. Come on.
Isabela, should have known you'd find me here.
Tell your men to burn the letters next time.
Seaon was heartbroken when he heard about the shipwreck. You should have let him know you survived.
It must have slipped my mind.
Where's the relic?
I lost it. Castellon's just going to have to do without.
Lost it? Just like you lost a ship full of valuable cargo?
They weren't cargo, Hader. They were people.
Those slaves were worth 100 sovereigns a head, and you let them scurry off into the wilds. And now the relic's gone too. Castellon won't be happy to hear that. I promise you.
Will someone explain what's going on?
Isabella's been a very bad girl. Ruined a perfect business deal and then ran away. She didn't tell you?
I told him enough. I said I arranged for a duel, which I did. I also said you wouldn't play fair, which you didn't. We can talk later if you want. Right now, we have other problems.
Seaon isn't a very happy person, is he? Maybe he needs a new hobby.
There's only one way to settle this.
I've got you now!
There's a lesson to be learned here. This is suicide.
Stab first, ask questions later.
Trust me, it's better this way. Castellon won't hear about me from Hader, but he'll find me eventually. I just have to get him the relic. It's simple as that.
What's so interesting about the relic?
I don't really know what it is, except that it's ancient and worth my weight in gold. Castellon has me chasing it down as payback for freeing his slaves. To be honest, I think he just wants me dead, but that would be letting me off easy.
You hired Lucky to track down information on the relic?
That's right. He insisted he knew everything that was going on in Kirkwall. He lied. I bet he doesn't even know everything going on in his pants.
Did you end up in Kirkwall because your ship was destroyed?
There was a storm. The ship ran aground on the reefs near the city. I managed to make it to shore. Most of my men weren't as lucky. Poor sods. I knew some of those men almost 10 years. Ah, balls.
Who is Castellon?
He's a powerful merchant based in Antiva. I believe he has ties to the Felicissima Armada. I used to work for him. The jobs mostly involved smuggling lyrium, jewels, or the occasional criminal acquaintance. He paid well.
What's this about you freeing slaves?
I was asked to escort Castellon's cargo ship. I got a bad feeling about the job partway through. Boarded the ship to find slaves. Nearly 200. Elves, humans, children even. It was sickening. They paid Castellon to take them away from the Blight. He took their money and sold them into slavery. Even I can see that's wrong.
If getting the relic gets Castellon off your back, then I'll help you retrieve it.
I still don't know where it is, but you'll be the first to know if I hear anything. Anyway, thanks for helping me out with Hader. I think I'll tag along for a while. There might be something I could do for you. And I have a room at the Hanged Man if you're looking for company later.
You there, Ferelden. I wish to speak with you. You've gained quite a reputation with the Red Iron Mercenary Band. I find myself in need of someone with your special talents.
I'm guessing you don't mean my ability to juggle small rodents to Orlesian ballads.
If that is your greatest skill, then I have been misinformed. I am looking for muscle, not whatever it was you were just describing. A man I sentenced to a life in prison has escaped custody. He's been tracked to an abandoned ruin outside the city. I'd like you to retrieve the fugitive and hand him over to the guard.
Why is there such a clamor to catch this man? What has he done?
He's escaped. That's reason enough to catch him.
The guards can take care of this. Unless there's something else you're not telling me.
Good. So I'm not the only one who thinks this smells like a setup.
The men refuse to go in without reinforcements. The ruins have been overrun by strange creatures.
Do you know what manner of beasts they are?
I don't know what they look like. I've never seen one myself. The guards say these things have already torn through a full company of men.
It'd be easier to seal up the entrance and let the beasts take care of him.
I believe in justice, Ferelden, not unbridled slaughter. I will not let prisoners be eaten just because I don't want to get my hands dirty.
I'm sure if you send in enough men this time, they'd do fine.
No. The more guards who know, the easier it is for this to get out. Those men gossip like old fishwives.
I'll take the job.
Bring the fugitive in alive, quickly and quietly. Not only will you be well paid, you'll have the gratitude of a city magistrate. Useful for a refugee, wouldn't you agree?
I can't thank you enough for letting me come here. But it hasn't been quite what I thought.
Has the Keeper been able to help you with your magic?
Sadly, his is not a problem we've encountered before. I'm studying our ancient writings, but it is a slow process. His human blood makes it difficult to train him.
You know, when I lived in Kirkwall, I felt like everyone could tell by my face I was an elf. Now I understand how easily I passed. It's harder here.
Still, we appreciate you bringing him here, friend. We would not see a son of our tribe suffer alone. Please, accept this as our thanks.
I hear you're in need of a bit of help.
Ah, so you're the reinforcements the magistrate promised. The man you're looking for, he's holed up in the ruins. Though I doubt he's still in one piece.
That bastard's to be brought in alive after all he's done? Just because it isn't you and your pretty little Shemlin children he's after.
Look at these guards. I doubt either of them has to worry about having pretty children.
That's not what I meant. The man you're after, he targets elves. He dragged my daughter into those ruins and killed her! I want him dead! My girl, Leah, she wasn't his first victim. Over the years, he's taken dozens of our children, and not once has he paid for his crimes.
Would you mind telling me who you are?
My name is Elrond. I'm a merchant in the city. Please, no one else cares that our children are being slaughtered like beasts!
There must be some humans who would take offense to these disappearances.
We're nothing to them. Even if this murderer does finally go before the courts, the magistrate won't take our word over his.
Why only elves? Why not human children as well?
We're easy prey. No one thinks twice when an elven child disappears.
I'll tear his throat out myself.
Thank you, Sarah. You have no idea what this means. For all my damn coin, I'm still only an elf to these Shemlin. There'll be no justice for my girl in the courts of Kirkwall.
What do you say about all this?
They won't go in after him. They're stalling, trying to give the murdering bastard a chance to get away.
Oi now, elf. Like we said before, you're bleeding mad if you think we'll be going against the magistrate's orders.
This murderer cannot be allowed to walk free.
Then that bastard will finally get what he deserves. Thank you.
Not wise, stranger. You try to take justice into your own hands, the magistrate'll have your head.
Better men have tried, and failed, horribly.
If we kill them, we get that stuff!
Who are you? Please, can you get me out of here? I just want to go home.
Leah, your father told us you were dead.
My father? Is he safe? Kelder said that he'd hurt my family if I didn't come with him.
Who is Kelder?
The man who took me.
I don't see any injuries. Are you all right?
He hit me, told me I was nothing. I begged him to stop hurting me. I didn't think he would, but out of nowhere, he pushed me away and just started crying. Don't you see? He didn't mean to hurt me. He told me. There are demons. They make him do these horrible things.
It doesn't matter if the Maker himself was telling this man to hurt you. It's still his own damned decision.
I don't believe that. He couldn't stop himself.
She is a child and does not understand. Her pity is admirable, but misplaced.
Kelder is dangerous, Leah. If he fights back, I can't promise he won't get hurt.
He won't fight you, I promise.
Run to the entrance. You'll find your father there.
I knew my father would eventually send someone. I was hoping the beasts down here would get to me first.
You wanted those creatures to kill you? Why?
It's what I deserve. I should be torn apart, forgotten down here, not protected by my father.
The magistrate sent me. I've never even met your father.
He didn't tell you, did he? The magistrate is my father. He's tried so hard to keep me, and what I've done, hidden away.
Not hard enough, so it seems.
I'm not here to discuss the magistrate.
Father is a good man. He tried to help, to stop me. But he can't. No one can. That elf girl, she had no right to be so beautiful, so perfect. The demons said she needed to be taught a lesson, like all the others. The Circle was supposed to help me, but they lied. They said there were no demons, that I was mad. This isn't my fault.
Leah said you told her to run. Why?
I was crying, and she asked me if I was all right. After everything the demons made me do to her, she was concerned about me. How could I let them destroy something so good, so pure?
Let me get this straight. You torture and murder elven children for being too beautiful.
I didn't want to hurt them. They forced me. The demons don't like it when they cry.
If the Circle suspected a demon at work, they wouldn't risk setting you loose in the city.
No. They lied.
Coward. Doesn't even have the balls to own up to his own depravity.
I can't stop. I've tried so many times. Please, you have to kill me. There's no other way.
He sees the truth of it. Allow me to grant his wish, if you will not.
Any last words before he kills you, Kelder?
Tell my father. I'm sorry.
You saved her. My little girl. I didn't dare hope... Did you find that monster? Is he dead?
He won't harm Leah or anyone else ever again.
I didn't believe an elf could ever get justice in Kirkwall. I speak for all of us when I say that we are in your debt, Sirrah.
I feel just as bad for those knife ears as the next man. But ignoring the magistrate's direct orders, that's madness.
You dare show your face to me again. If you know what's good for you, you'll leave my city
I've heard about the Circle of Magi outside of the Imperium, but I've never been in one. Are you certain it's wise for you to be here?
Oh, I'm sure nobody will notice little old me. Don't you worry.
Very reassuring. This seems more like a prison. I wonder if it's more effective than the Circle I know.
How is the Imperial Circle of Magi different?
Once upon a time, it was as it is here. The Chantry watched the Magisters closely for any signs of corruption or weakness. Then it changed. The Magisters were permitted to watch over their own, and Templars kept only to enforce the law. What happened next was inevitable. The Magisters rule again, as powerful as they ever were.
You said the Chantry used to watch the Magisters. Why did they stop?
You must remember that the attitude towards magic is different in Tevinter. Magisters came from wealthy families, bloodlines that had nurtured magical talent for countless generations. The Chantry was not trying to control poor peasants, but the scions of the greatest houses in the Imperium.
I thought the Magisters had been thrown down by the Chantry.
On the contrary, Andraste never defeated the Imperium. A great army conquered the south, but not the north. The Magisters eventually surrendered to the Chantry, but they did so on their terms. They kept their influence. Thus, they reclaimed what they lost over the centuries. Some battles are lost by inches.
You talk about the Magisters as if they are all evil.
I have no doubt that some are good and noble men, strong enough to resist temptation. But how many temptations do you wish to offer a man before he will give in? Blood magic is everywhere in Tevinter, from the lowliest apprentice up to the Archon himself.
You can't have seen this for yourself.
Daenerys talked about it often. Of course, they say it's forbidden. Behind the smiles and closed doors, however, it's a different matter. To be a Magister in Tevinter is to be glorious. To be a powerful Magister in Tevinter, that is worth any price.
You're saying the same thing could happen here?
If the mages were permitted to be their own watchers, of course. It is too easy for a mage to resort to blood magic if they feel the need is great enough. A mage can desire power, justice, revenge, protection. Any cause will do, and then they are lost.
You're saying that locking mages up is better?
All I am saying is the Imperium offers no answer. All that Andraste did long ago to end the tyranny of magic has been undone. Power corrupts, as they say, and mages have power enough already.
According to everything I've seen, the Circle can't control mages anyhow.
And what is the alternative? Freedom is a noble ideal, but I see no oppression here. I see fear and danger. But enough. I'm sure we came here for a reason. Agrigio Pavali. There are 6 bottles in the cellar. Daenerys used to have me pour it for his guests. My appearance intimidated them, he said, which he enjoyed.
You were his servant as well as his bodyguard?
I was his slave. I propped up the furniture when he was so inclined. It's good I can still take pleasure in the small things.
You could have offered me a glass first, you know.
There's more, if you're really interested.
Perish the thought. How else would you redecorate the walls?
I've wanted to leave my past behind me, but it won't stay there. Tell me, have you never wanted to return to Ferelden?
I've started a life here.
And that's it? You leave it behind so easily?
I lost my sister to the Blight.
And now she no longer matters to you? I apologize. Your life is your own. It simply sounds very familiar.
Do you intend to keep living here?
I haven't decided. For now, it's as good as any other place. I would return to Seaon if I could, but there is no life for me there.
Is that where you're from?
So I've been told.
Were you very young when you left then?
Perhaps.
You could track your former master down, I assume?
I imagine he has returned to Minrathous, though I dare not go near the city while he is alive. No, it is better to wait for him to leave his fortress, fight from a fortified position. I do not expect your help when that day comes, but I would not turn it aside.
You've been on the run a long time then.
3 years now. Denarius has a way of finding me. Perhaps it is the markings. Whatever the means, it never takes him long to follow. This is the first time I've given him reason to pause. I suppose there are advantages in numbers.
Haven't you sought help before?
Hirelings, when I could steal the coin. Never anyone of substance. Until you. Denarius will not give up, however. I await his return.
What if he does give up? What then?
Then I go to him. I will not live with a wolf at my back.
Sounds like the right idea to me.
If it comes to that, I doubt it will.
Maybe it's just me, but it sounds like you want to stick around.
I could see myself staying, for the right reasons. I should thank you again for helping me against the hunters.
Yes, you should.
Had I known Ansel would find me a man so capable, I might have asked him to look sooner.
It turned out well enough.
It did at that. I will not keep you longer. Another time, perhaps.